Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the single most important piece of software running on your computer, your phone, well, on pretty much every smart device you own. So let's start with a little mystery, right? Every time you open a browser or play a song, you're giving the command. But who's really in charge? Turns out there's this powerful, totally unseen manager working tirelessly behind the scenes, just making sure everything works. And that manager? That's your operating system, or OS for short. It's the master software, the essential bridge between you and the physical hardware of your device. And honestly, it is, without a doubt, the most important program in the entire system.
All right, so if the OS is the manager, what's actually on its job description? What's on its daily to-do list?
Well, the OS sits right at the center of everything. It's like the ultimate coordinator. It's constantly talking to your monitor, your keyboard, all the apps you have open, your hard drive, you name it. Its main job is to manage all that traffic and make sure it all flows perfectly. Okay, so let's get into it. Because, just like in any office, not all managers have the same style. And it's the same with an OS. They can be built for completely different kinds of work. Take staffing, for example. Some of these OS managers are strictly one-person operations. Like your personal laptop. That's a single-user system. But then you have others that are built to manage a whole team, where tons of people can tap into the same computer at once. Think about a big university server, or something like that. And what about their workflow? Can they juggle? Early systems? Nope. They were strictly single-tasking. They could only do one single thing at a time. But today's systems, they are absolute masters of multitasking, right? They're juggling your browser, your music, your email, and like a dozen other things in the background without even breaking a sweat. All right, it's time to meet some of the celebrity managers. These are the icons, the legends, who literally shaped the digital world we all live in. First up, the original, MS-DOS from 1981. This was the old-school, no-nonsense manager. No fancy graphics, no icons, none of that. You just typed in a command and boom, it got the job done. All business. But that whole text-based world, it wasn't gonna last. The mid-'80s brought a total revolution in management style. Seriously, in just a few short years, the way we talk to computers was about to change forever. And then in 1984, bam, Apple's macOS comes along and just completely changes the game. This new manager was friendly, it was visual, it was intuitive. It gave us the graphical user interface, windows, icons, a mouse. All of a sudden, computers weren't just for programmers anymore, they were for everyone. So while Apple and Microsoft were busy building their empires, a totally different kind of manager was about to show up. And this one had a pretty radical philosophy. And that was Linux. Get this, it wasn't made by some huge corporation. It was created by a college student, Linus Torvalds, back in 1991. And here's the kicker. Unlike its big rivals, he just gave it away for free. It was open source, which meant anybody could use it, look at the code, and even make it better. And the impact was just incredible. That little student project blew up into a global powerhouse. Think about it. Today, Linux is the only OS running on the world's top 500 supercomputers. It runs most of the internet servers. Oh, and it's the foundation for Google's entire Android system. Which is crazy when you think about it. The two managers running pretty much every smartphone in your pocket trace their DNA right back to these pioneers. Android, that's built on Linux. And Apple's iOS, it's a direct descendant of that original macOS from '84. Okay, so we've met the big players, but how in the world does this unseen manager handle the insane pressure of running our devices? Second by second, how does it juggle everything? Seriously, every single moment your device is on, the OS is doing a million things at once. It's managing memory, keeping all your files organized, handling every time you touch the screen or keyboard, launching your apps. The list just goes on and on. Okay, but one of its most critical jobs is something called process management. And the analogy is perfect. It's like a real manager deciding which employee gets to work on the top priority project right now. The OS is constantly deciding which app gets to use the computer's brain, the CPU, at any given millisecond. It's an endless balancing act. It's always scheduling, always prioritizing. So the app you're actually using right now, like your browser, gets top priority. It gets all the resources it needs. Meanwhile, stuff happening in the background, like your email syncing, gets just enough juice to stay alive without slowing you down. And that constant juggling is what keeps everything feeling so smooth and responsive. So here's the bottom line. The operating system is basically the soul of your machine. It is absolutely essential. Without that manager running the show, your phone, your tablet, your computer, it's all just an expensive, useless box of parts. And that leaves us with a really fascinating thought, right? As our devices get smarter and smarter with AI and everything else, what's next? What new skills will these OS managers need to learn? What's the next big revolution in how our technology is run going to look like?